Alright, Class A, we need to take down your regular superlative notes because we already have, let's go through our checklist. That's not the one I wanted. Here we go. We've already done your vocab. There's not much to it. We've already talked about stare versus a star, and we've already talked about super superlatives when you add isimo or isima onto the end of an adjective after dropping the vowel to say super good looking, super tall, or whatever the case may be. We already have comparisons of equality to say as blank as or tan blank como for most of them. We now know there are other ways of doing that as well. Comparisons of inequality, mas blank k. And now we are taking your regular superlative notes. We have already taken your irregulars as well. So we are getting down to the last thing we need to talk about, regular superlatives, which we use to talk about someone or something having the most or least of a characteristic or quality. In English, we usually add est onto the end of the adjective, tallest, smartest, prettiest. Sometimes we can't, they're just not words in English, like intelligentist, we say the most intelligent, and that's what we're going to be doing here. Please carefully write down this formula for how to write a regular superlative sentence, and it should be written just like mine, very carefully. And then we want to make a note that we have to be aware of irregulars, those 4 irregulars we've talked about. And then I have an example sentence for you. Ana es la chica más amistosa de la casa. I have certain things in parentheses that can be left out because they can still have a sentence and leave them out. So what I would like you to do is translate this sentence to English, and please skip 2 lines right here so that we can copy some things down in class. But you should be able to translate this sentence. And I've got the shortest version where we cut out the words in parentheses to say what that is. And please skip 2 lines after that. But I'm going to be checking in your notes for your attempt at the translation. I would do those in pencil in case you have to change them. I'm going to move on. If you need more time with the screen, press pause. Here is an example sentence that I would like you to write down in English. This girl has the curliest hair in or of the world. In English we say in, but in Spanish they say de the group. You do not have to recopy down the information in gray. It's just here for reference. And again, in order to get credit for your notes, I would like you to make your best attempt at this sentence in Spanish. So please leave room for that. And again, you may want to do it in pencil. And then there is one more thing we need to think about. We need to think about regular superlatives when dealing with the 4 irregulars. So press pause. I am moving on. 4 irregulars with regular superlatives. Remember, you don't use más o menos with the 4 irregulars, and they often go before the noun. So here's our old formula. I have it in gray, so again, you do not have to write it down. And let's think about what we would change about it. We would still have our subject and verb and our definite article. We may leave out the noun if it doesn't have one, but we will not use más o menos, because you do not use más o menos with the 4 irregulars, and the adjective usually goes before the noun. So I would have to move this over here. So let me put a line through this because it's not what we're using anymore. And if we adjust that formula, we would get, and yes, you do want to write this one down, the subject if we want to list it, then the verb, then we'd have the definite article, and then we would have the irregular adjective, then the noun, and then de the group. So this is our new formula for using with the 4 irregulars because we don't use más o menos. I accidentally erased the X, and the adjective would need to go before the noun. Here's an example sentence. Ana es la mayor chica de la clase. And I would like you to translate this sentence here in your notes. Don't leave it blank. We'll talk about it in class. And then I've got one more for us to try. from English to Spanish. That caring, cheerful man has the best beard in or of the city. So here again is your formula for reference only. You don't have to write it down. Write down the example sentence, and using vocab and the formula, I would like to see, when I check your notes, your best attempt at this sentence in Espanol. And again, use pencil if you are not feeling confident. And I will check your notes in class tomorrow. Good job!